Welcome back to another special edition of Leader Media Live. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Joining us today, Kim Jones, Board President for the Ross County Junior Achievement, along with Board Member and Scholarship Committee Member Ty Park. We're going to be wrapping up the 23-24 school year activities that Junior Achievement has been involved in with the county's district schools, including up to $10,000 in scholarships awarded. Our interview today brought to you by Adena Health. Back after this.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc. Minimally invasive spinal surgery got him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Kim Jones and Ty Park back with us. A busy year, another year for Junior Achievement.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us here. We love to get out in the community and talk about Junior Achievement and all the great work that it does in Ross County schools.
So what are some of the activities you've been involved in over the last several months?
Well, Junior Achievement has been involved in some, I guess what we would consider to be some of the standard programming that it's done across the years. Ross County felt compelled, a lot of its local business owners, to start Junior Achievement in 1977. And since then, they started with just, entrepreneurship types of classes for kids just to get them introduced to those concepts. But over the years, we've added great programming that includes financial literacy as well as career exploration that kids get to do at the high school level. So not only are they learning about maybe possibly being an entrepreneur someday and running their own business, but we're also trying to incorporate those necessary life skills that they need to be able to go out and find good employment. The great news about it is it aligns with a lot of the core curriculum that supports our local teachers and the work that they have to do. So incorporating it into the schools has been pretty easy for us. And all of our school districts here in Ross County have invited us in and allowed us to do that for a lot of years.
We were talking with Ty a little before we came on the air about some of the history, and a gentleman that is now in an emeritus position, but was one of the original founders.
Buzz Knowles, what a man. Great member of our community, just such an outstanding businessman, but just, the love he has for Ross County and the kids of Ross County, to bring the elements of business, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, all of those things to the classroom. That was a huge goal of his, and it's been accomplished, and it continues to grow. So we love him, and we were very thankful to have Buzz.
Absolutely.
For a number of years, the Gus Macker 3-on-3 tournament, which ironically is coming back this year under a different sponsor, that was a big fundraiser for you guys. So how are you funding Junior Achievement now?
Well, we actually do quite a bit of work with grants. We try to get grants that support that, but we do annual fundraising as well that really supports us in those efforts. We have lots of great community partners that donate different things throughout the year as well. So it really is just a great collaborative among lots of different interested parties that come together to support it.
We just had a story on LeaderMedia.com about a week and a half ago about a deadline coming up for the financial literacy grant. When you said that a while ago, I thought, well, maybe you take advantage of some of those funds too.
Well, we get supported by a grant from our juvenile court that supports that. We also get things from United Way and other places as well. So, yeah.
We mentioned scholarships at the outset, Ty, and some of those have they gone out yet or are going out?
Absolutely. We already have discussed with our winners, our recipients. We had 31 graduating seniors this year apply, all schools in Ross County, and 15 winners this year. So just outstanding candidates. We look at categories, and when I say we have from the board, we have a committee. We had 5 scorers this year. Look at applications, submit in the categories of activities, leadership, Junior Achievement participation, which the unique part of that category for us is that, obviously we want to see if the kids remember and can apply what they had through our programming through the schools. We go into the elementaries, but then we also come back into the middle schools, and then we go into the high school. Not every single kid that goes through all the schools might have been exposed to those, to our teaching. That's our goal, is to bring it to everybody. But when they don't, there's a category that they can apply any work experience they've had and relate business concepts in the application. So we have the JA participation. We also require recommendations, and you'd be amazed at the write-ups we get about these kids. They're just outstanding students, and it is tough to whittle it down to 15.
Really hard,
It's very difficult. But and then also the academic transcript. You want to see that the kid has applied themselves throughout their academic programming, all their classes. So and without further ado, may I announce on this who the winners are? They've already been contacted. Yeah. So, and like we said, this year we were able to award a total of $10,000. So different levels. We were able to give some kids $1,000. Some kids $750 and some kids $500, and it's one time to apply toward their upcoming school year. So, Katie Henning from Zane Trace. Britton Ford from Southeastern, Lucy Lloyd from Chillicothe, Malachi Alsop from Unioto, Sarah McGraw from Zane Trace, Keegan Fisk from Unioto, Nora Beery from Medina, Connor Smith from Southeastern, Sarah Lute from Huntington, Katie Pinkerton, Southeastern, Amelia Urig, Unioto, Jordan Perkins, Unioto, Gabriella Purnell, Southeastern, Claire Robinson, Adina, and Rayleigh Metler from Paint Valley.
Yeah. So, congratulations to everybody.
Absolutely.
Great job. And they get to join the other 200 and almost 30 kids that we have supported across the years with $168,000 in scholarships total from our endowment. So.
I've been around long enough, and I've known Ty Park long enough. Did you get to participate in junior achievement as a student in school?
Well, so when I think of some of the concepts, I believe I did. Zane Trace, I was a junior high student at Zane Trace. I went to Chillicothe City Schools until 7th grade, and but I had some great teachers along the way. I had a business teacher in high school, and I was exposed to Future Business Leaders of America. So some of the same concepts blend. I had Bob Brown, and I also had Nancy Robertson at Zane Trace that took on those roles to kind of lay some foundation of business concepts that I didn't know that I would be applying later in my life. And so that was fun to think about.
I'll ask you both. This question kind of goes along what you're talking about. We'll start with Kim. In your daily business practice with Adina, do you see things that you work with on a day-to-day basis that you can implement when talking to students?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's probably one of the greatest joys of being a part of Junior Achievement. I actually do the career program with the high school students, and I bring all those experiences in all the time. It's great. I think it's great for the students to get connected with the community and learn about what everything else that's available to them within the community in terms of careers and things like that. But then giving them situations about how they can apply those skills is fantastic. And I try to give them a little assignments to go home and say, like we do one on crucial conversations. Like instead of getting mad and angry and going down a path that might not work, try some of these techniques and see if it works next time. And I love to hear, I tried that and that worked out a lot better.
Great. Yeah. How about you, Ty?
I enjoy. So I've been in the middle school classrooms, for many years now, but also I got to experience 5th grade in teaching at some of the different schools in the county. And I really enjoy the early stages of this discussion. You talk about regions, you talk about supply and demand, talk about resources that are available and what would make sense to build some kind of business idea in this area, and budgeting, those go into middle school concepts, and how important it is to talk about credit and debit, the difference between credit and debit cards, but also how important credit is, and trying to stay out of debt, and thinking about careers that make a certain amount of money when you're looking at your budgeting and what you can do there. And one of the concepts I think lends itself to discussion for careers. A lot of people talk about finding a career that you love and finding a career that's just, a job that's amazing. And more and more the last couple of years, it has been so relevant to talk about while education levels are directly proportionate to maybe averages in career earnings, it's also very important to talk about the trade skills.
Yes.
And the kids in our areas that are able to, really think, oh yeah, I'm going to look and explore, what does an electrician, bring, and what did they make, and what are my opportunities, and how high can I go in that? And so all of those things we bring into, what we, talk about the classroom. So that's been outstanding.
I was just sharing this story yesterday or the day before with somebody. I don't even know what we were talking, but we were talking about enjoying your job. And I can remember Paul Harvey, the late Paul Harvey, many, many years ago, talking about his love for broadcasting, and I kind of felt that same way for the years that I've been involved. You almost feel like you're stealing money when you get paid.
Yeah, right.
I get paid to do this, and Dan and Ramey's over there say, "Wait a minute, we get paid?"
Right.
But that's the joy, and unfortunately, some people don't have that. But you can work your way up to something else.
That's
or
right.
something better.
And I know in the classroom sessions in middle school that I had this year, it really came up, talking about that concept of, well, a lot of times the reality is you have to find a job that's available that can pay the bills.
Exactly.
But the more you apply yourself and you learn, and if you're a student and you see how the opportunities exist for you to grow and advance, it could lead to giving you some more time to do some other things that you love. So, so your job paying the bills, but then also freedom that you gain financially, possibly, and maybe a job that has more time available for you to explore some of your hobbies that you really love. So bringing all that together.
Well put. Kim, any fundraising activities in the late spring and during the summer that you want to talk about? Or?
Thank you for asking. We are coming up on our annual Junior Achievement Golf Outing, which is going to be on June 14th out at the JC's. We really do a great job, I think, of making sure everybody's fed all day long and has a good time. And if you're looking for a way to have your local business either highlighted through that outing, because we do have great attendance out there for it, or wanting to put a team together just to support, all the proceeds go back into our programming dollars that we utilize to buy supplies and materials for the kids. So please consider supporting it that way.
And that brings up another question. If there are business people out there that would like to volunteer with Junior Achievement, how do they go about doing that?
We are nothing without our volunteers. We rely on them heavily to support us. I think we were in 86 different classrooms this past year. So when you talk about it takes a village, it does take a village, and we rely on that group of folks as well. We actually have a coordinator named Linda Collins who helps work to recruit all of our volunteers, and she is able to support any of our folks in the community that have an interest in being a part of it. And
I'll say Linda and then Kathy Ray before her, amazing. I mean, what they have brought to this organization and organizing and trying to get volunteers, and they work really hard to, work with the teachers and get things figured out so that volunteers feel comfortable coming in and have the materials and the training. So we do all that, but it's through volunteers like Linda and Kathy who have really taken the lead in getting our programming together too.
Right. So, Anything else you want to touch on before we close?
Just ask everyone to consider supporting us either by volunteering in our classes, coming out to the golf outing and playing around with us and supporting our fundraising efforts, as well as send out congratulations if you know any of those kids on the list of getting the scholarship. Right.
Very good. Again, Kim Jones, also Ty Park of Ross County Junior Achievement, our guest today on this special edition of Liter Media Live, brought to you by Adena Health. I'm Mike Smith.